lovelies, hi besties, hi my beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Menny if you're seeing me for the first time, but if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for checking in. I really appreciate. I am a YouTuber based in Toronto. I do food, lifestyle, aesthetics, and everything else in between. And please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. So I'll be sharing with you guys 5 expensive mistakes I made in Canada, so that if you're a first timer coming to Canada, you can also avoid these mistakes, because it will, save you your credit history, save you money, save you time, and save you stress. If I had informations like this when I came to Canada in 2018, perhaps I wouldn't have made the mistakes I made. The first mistake I made when I arrived to Canada was ruining my credit history. Now, especially if you're coming from countries that do not use credit cards. Credit cards are very, very important in Canada. Like, you cannot even book a hotel without credit card. You cannot get a house without your credit history. So it is very, very important. And once you ruin your credit score, oh my god, life will be so terrible for you, because nobody wants to approve you if you have like bad credit history. So what is credit card? Credit card is a money that a bank loans to you. Like, they put that money in your account for you to be able to buy goods or any services, but you have to pay back that money at a specific time. At a certain time, you need to pay it back. If you don't pay it back at that time, your credit score starts going down. I never knew that then, and nobody told me that while spending your money from your credit card, you're not supposed to spend more than 30% of the total money that you have. For example, let's say out of 1,000 that was given to you by the bank, you spend $100 out of that 1,000. The bank is going to give you up to like 20, or maybe it depends, 20 days to pay it back. So let's say you spent it on the 1st of April, you're supposed to pay it back on the 20th of April. So if you miss that payment, or if you paid nothing at all, it's going to record it as missed payment, and that is not good for your credit. So if you come to Canada and you get a credit card, you're not supposed to spend more than 30% of the total amount that was given to you. And you're supposed to always check your bank app each time that you're sure that you've used your credit. Check your bank app when you're supposed to pay. One thing about it, you don't have to wait till you have the total money to pay back your credit, right? Let's say you borrowed money, you used, just like I said, $100 out of the 1,000 on the 1st of April, and your payment is due on the 20th of April to pay back that $100 to the bank that you used. On the 5th, if you have like $20 towards the $100 you used on the 5th, you can just put it. I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I ruined my credit. When I arrived to Canada, I bought a SIM card, Fido. Prior to me coming to Canada, I knew nothing about prepaid. So in Barcelona, when I want to buy credit, either data, I just go in, I buy, right? And when it's finished, it's finished. If I like, I load. If I don't like, I don't load it. I never used to pay phone bill monthly. When I went to Canada, I knew nothing, so obviously I needed a SIM card. I got Fido, and monthly payment for Fido was it about $65? That was as at 2018. So when I got my Fido SIM, I started paying $65, like, yes, every month. Cool, everything was fine. Then I thought that my plan came with me, calling outside, because for $65 I was expecting, a lot. I now called, I remember it was during my wedding time, I called my husband using my Fido, a direct call. That was the first time I called, and after that call, I accommodated a bill of almost $370 something. I'm not even calculating it to my monthly usage of $65 per month. So that time when my bill came, it was almost $500 for that month. I was so scared. I'm like, what is going on? And before you can get that SIM, they have to register it under your credit history, right? So if you don't pay, it goes into the debt that you have. So I had to pay off that $500. I paid it off then. So when you come to Canada, you're getting a SIM, make sure that you understand the plan that they are giving to you. Make sure that you understand if you can call out of Canada and how much it will cost. Know that, understand the policies. Now, any service you're getting in Canada, please understand the services, because any mistake you make, it's actually on you. It's going to cost you money, and you know what, you have to pay for it. After I cleared up that $400 and something towards my phone bill, I continued using it. Now in April of 2019, I traveled back to Nigeria and I stayed till December. Honestly, I did not know this, but I made a huge mistake, because the next thing I'm going to tell you is going to blow you off. You know how in your country you can just off your phone and off your SIM, even if you're not using it, it doesn't really bother you. Like, you can always pick your SIM, on it back, load your card, and life goes on. So even when I was not using my SIM, while all those period I was in Nigeria, they were counting it for me, right? So in April, I stopped using my SIM. So from April, May, they charged me around $70 something till I came back. Now times 78 to $65 times May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I had to pay for 8 months worth of services I didn't use. While I was in Nigeria, I kept on getting, your Fido bill is ready. I wasn't getting it, because I'm like, I'm in Nigeria, I'm not in Canada, so why are you saying your Fido bill is ready? Then you can see the total of everything. Though I paid more than, like, I don't know if you guys can see, I don't know, like, you can see all this, your Fido bill is ready. All this time I was not in Canada. So let me show you what my total bill was. The total was this. Can you guys see it? And it was for $489 for something I didn't use. So all those months that I wasn't around in Canada, they kept on putting it on my credit history, missed payment. And because they put missed payment for 8 months, they ruined my credit history. And at the end of the day, they sent me to collection. Collection is once you're in Canada and you are being sent to collections. I didn't even know what all those things. Once you get a warning from any company that maybe is rendering services or any products to you, and you're supposed to pay, you're not paying, and that you've been sent to collections, hurry up and look for money and pay immediately. Because I did not know what collection was, all those things was just strange to me. I didn't understand. By the time I came back in December, I had accommodated another bill outside of the $500 that I paid while I made a call from Canada to Nigeria. I accommodated a bill of over another $500. Oh my God, I was mad. I had to go to Fido because all my plans was that, let me come back to Canada, I'm going to sort it out. But it was already too late for me. When I got to Canada, they already sent my name to collections. I didn't know what it was. Eventually, they reported the debt to my credit history. So I have that debt credit history on my credit card, and it will only disappear after like 7 years. So guys, you can see from September to April I paid, and you can see when I was out of Canada when I did not pay. So it's very important to check. Moving forward, when I got to Canada, I went to Fido and I told them that I wasn't around during this period and I wasn't using Fido. And you can check, you should know that whether somebody was using the SIM or not. They said it doesn't matter, that if I had wanted to travel outside of Canada, I would have come in and placed my number on is it vacation, whatever, then they would have suspended my account for me till I got back to Canada. I didn't know that. Why is it that when you go to purchase something, they don't tell you information like that? Because if the person that sold me this SIM card told me, oh, this is the policy, just in case you're traveling, you should know you'll still be charged, you can always bring it in for suspension. Those are the things this company should be letting their customers know, but they never allowed me know. They didn't tell me. They only told me there was nothing they could do and that the collection company has bought my debt as bad debts, so they've washed their hands off it. I had to pay over $500. That should be about 300,000 naira. Then the worst is that they will report it to your credit history and you will still have to pay. No matter what, you will pay that money. So in order for you to avoid this, always know the terms, ask questions. Whatever you're getting done in Canada, ask what is the disadvantage. If this goes wrong, what can I do? Always ask questions. Please ask questions. Please do not be scared to ask questions at any point, because you can avoid yourself the stress of spending money that you're not supposed to spend and all. Ever since that incident with Fido, I came to learn about a pay-as-you-go SIM card. The name of the SIM card is Charter. If you're coming to Canada as a newcomer, I recommend Charter because you don't have a job yet. You don't want a situation where you don't even know what the next month will be for you and you have to start thinking, oh, have I overused my data? Because if you overuse your data on top of the $65 or the $70 you're going to be paying a month, they're going to add it to you. I don't want to deal with prepaid anymore, so I prefer my pay-as-you-go Charter. So that is it for my credit card and my phone experience. The final mistake you shouldn't make is housing. Whatever housing that you're going to get right, there's always a contract, and most contract you see is 1 year lease, so you cannot break your lease. If there is a situation that you need to leave that apartment or the house wherever you're staying, be sure that let me adjust myself and tell you guys something. You see anything contract, make sure you read and understand. It could be phone, it could be housing. Make sure you read and understand. There was a time before, during 2021, I needed to go back to Nigeria, right? And because I signed a lease of 1 year, I couldn't leave that house. You know how you can live in a house back in your country and maybe give one month or even 3 weeks notice to your landlords and landlady that you'll be moving out. In Canada, it's not like that. Sorry, if you have a 1 year lease contract to stay in a particular apartment, the responsibility of that apartment is on you. So even if you're living in that house or you're not living in that apartment, you're going to pay for it if you did not stay to the end of your contract. Let's say, God forbid again, something came up, you couldn't pay your tuition or you just have to go back home and you want to leave your apartment. The remaining months that you are not going to be around, you are going to pay for it. And I mean pay for it. If not, is going into your credit, and no matter where you go, as long as you're coming back to this Canada, as long as you're alive, you're going to pay that money, whether you stayed in it or not. So if you are leasing a house, make sure that it is a house that in case you have to leave, you can sublet the house or the apartment. Most houses or most apartments don't allow this, but make sure that if you are getting for 1 year, you would stay 1 year. If you stay 4 months without completing the 6 months, you're going to pay for it. So if you're, like I said, if you're getting an apartment or a house, make sure you can sublet the house or sublease the house to somebody else. So when I needed to leave and the apartment that I was staying in Vancouver, we had to sublet it and sublease it. Even when I moved and the house was empty for about 2 months before someone else got in the apartment, we were forced to pay the 2 months that we were not there. So that is Canada for you. Everything is done accordingly. If you're signing a lease to any apartment, make sure that you'll be there. If you won't be there to complete your contract, make sure that it's an apartment that allows you to lease it or rent it to some other person, so that the person can be paying rent on your behalf. It is allowed. But if not, you'll be dragged to court, and yes, you pay for that. So those are the things you should know before coming to Canada, or you're a first timer in Canada. Make sure that you know all this in order not to spend money or have a bad credit history. That is it for this video. If you love this video, if this video was informative, please do not forget to give my video a thumbs up. Please like and share for anybody you know that is interested to come to Canada. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys on my next video. I actually did this makeup just for this YouTube video. Please kindly subscribe. Thank you once more, and see you guys on my next video. Thank you.